Shut up, listen up, everybody, what up? Gonna put it in a podcast, boost, what's up? We talk, we laugh, we sing, we dance, we'll do anything if you give us a chance. We'll play one time, it'll help us out. All truth, no lies, no, it's never a doubt. If you like rants, tirades, and honest opinions, we shoot from the hip and we're here with precision. Give us one chance to play Opinion Bros podcast.
Okay, and we are live. Welcome back to the Warhammer show.
On Los Piña Bros podcast.
Yep. This is Alberto 333.
This is Mondo Man Jr.
And welcome. Thank you to our fans, to our listeners, followers. You know who you are.
Thank you for listening to our Valentine's Day episode, because that seems to be racking up a lot of hits on the play around. So thank you for that. I'm surprised that was like one of the highest listened episodes, but
yeah, it got up there pretty quick in numbers.
Yeah, what's funny after that episode came out, was that Julia Roberts' followers have gone like way down, and I think her perfume brand is also like on the clearance bins now, like at Water Tower. So I think you had a lot to do with that. So I think you should be.
She had a lot to do with it. Sorry, Julia. Not sorry, but just a quick note. Mr. Pina Zombie is not with us today.
He was in a horrible car accident, and he's currently in an entire body cast. We wish him well.
Yeah, or not.
I don't care. He's my least favorite brother.
It may have something to do with Julia Roberts. Her followers might have, but we wanted to get right to it. No bullshitting. Warhammer 40K. We decided to focus real quick. Turn our podcast into the Warhammer podcast, and just quickly talk about why we love the franchise so much.
Yeah, everything else we've talked about in the past was just the primer for this. We just really wanted to get listeners to start thinking about our show, reel them in, and now we're going to sink our hooks into them, because we're really hardcore fans of Warhammer.
I'll just start quickly. Warhammer I've loved since, it appeared, since it came out in the 40s. And, what I love about the lore is just like the 40,000 years it took to develop the singularity. I think when the lore really goes into the singularity and devolves into the Turtle franchise, I think that's really when I started like picking up the show, and that's really when I was like focusing in on the ninjas and the robotic butlers.
Yeah, once the hand and the foot started getting into the 40K franchise, that's where I think I started enjoying it, especially where you got your Emperor Legion Turtles fighting the Midnight Lord Vulcans. It's always been like, who's gonna win? Who's gonna have the one ring that rules them all?
I think that was season 3.5. No.
Yeah. No. Well, you can call it season 3.5, but I think they prefer. I think the Legionnaires.
Oh, the Legionnaires.
Yeah, they like to call it season 3, part B,
volume 1.
Volume 1.
That's right. We just had 3 main points.
Did you want to start it off?
Yeah, just
here. You should talk about it because of the Emperor Penguins.
Yeah, the Emperor Penguins, when they were making out with the Night Lords.
Really, a lot of tongue action, tonsil hockey, even.
Yeah, that spawned the whole Warhammer Ultramarines, which I think I agree. They're much better in every way than the Blood Angels, who don't belong in 40K at all.
That was a big mistake on their part, of the creators.
Yeah, I think they were biting off a lot of Twilight.
They're taking a big bite of that apple.
Yeah, the Twilight and Warhammer are pretty similar. I think it's almost the same kind of lore. I think they created both franchises, no?
I think they were created around the same time. And if I'm not mistaken, both the Ultramarines and the Twilight Sparkles both sparkle in the daylight.
That's only true half the time, which is 100%.
Yeah, 70% of the time it works all the time.
And then, did you want to mention your point?
Well, see, my thing is that Sanguinelicious is the worst. The worst. Like so bad. I'm trying to think. What's the guy we can bring up? In terms of like, what's the worst guy you can think? Well, I want to say Trump, but that's like low reaching fruit. But he's basically the Trump, and his death wasn't even emotional. You know, when he died.
He died?
He died because he took a bite of that apple. Remember? And then those dwarves like buried him in a glass coffin.
The 40K coffin.
The 40K coffin, the ultimate gold.
It cost him 40K.
Well, it was more like 40K 30 and 35 cents or some shit. But
I think that's when they had to take out the loan, and that spawned the whole loan season.
Yeah, oh god, the loan season. Do you remember that?
There
Jesus
were a few filler,
Christ.
Yeah.
And then they made like 5 games about that, and it's like, how do you keep making this shit up?
The fifth one was okay, but
yeah, and then they were fighting over the spice.
You know, and I think I'm just gonna say Spice is life, but
Spice is life.
You know, I just want to cut off right here, and you know, we'll be right back after the break because the spice is a whole other topic altogether.
We haven't even gotten to the point where they cross over with the Descendants, so we're gonna get into that.
That's one of my favorite parts.
It's really just Dove Cameron with the Night Lord and Kirk Cameron, fucking Kirk Cameron, Mister I Love Jesus.
Well, we'll get into him after this,
it's
but
insane.
Stay with us. We love you, and we're back.
Do you think, how many licks does it take for Beignet to get to the center of her Tootsie Pop? That's just like...
Okay. I thought you were going to say butthole.
Yeah, well...
I think the Tootsie Pop makes it worse for some reason.
Yeah, it does. It does sound bad. It's just like she's just there, you know, relieving herself. And, you know, I think we'd be lying if we couldn't... If we could do that, I think everybody would be doing that.
Yeah.
But, well, I hope everybody had a great Valentine's Day. I hope you didn't make it weird like Kanye made it weird.
Oh,
Did you hear about that stuff?
Well, I mean, I've seen the stuff. He's been posting some ridiculous stuff. I mean, part of me is just like, whatever, but
yeah.
But some people were bringing up the whole thing that, you know, it's toxic, and it just goes to show how some people can really harass people. And I get it, but at the same time, you guys, I think, are giving him a lot of power by... Oh, dude, he posted this, he posted that. Well, who fucking gives a shit, man? It's just like, whatever. It almost upsets me spending time talking about that nonsense.
Well, the only thing I wanted to bring up was what you just said was about like the toxicity of that. It's like, dude, move on. Your lady don't want you. Let her go be happy. Look, I'm not a Kim fan or anything, but no guy should be like harassing any chick. You know, move on. You're Kanye West. I'm sure there are gonna be chicks, you know, lining up to them gold diggers. You made a song about that. So get yourself over there. Don't be fucking weird.
Yeah.
That was a thing we said last week was don't make it weird. And Kanye did not listen. He went out of his way to make it fucking weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's only us two today. Alex
is still with us.
Beignet is still with us, our mascot. She looked good today. She got like a little thing going on. She got her little bows in her
She lost
fur.
one bow, but she got a nice haircut. She's feeling fresh.
She's feeling free. Got them nails done, or is it did? You got your nails did? Yeah, you know, funky fresh over here, Beignet. But yeah, so it's just us two. This is gonna probably be another ketchup episode, the mustarding.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I figured we talk about a little bit what we've been watching. Betin, why don't you start us off?
So yeah, I just wrote down some quick things. Antlers is on HBO Max. I was really excited to watch this because
that was Guillermo del Toro produced, Nick Acosta written.
Mm-hmm.
Did he direct it?
No, Cooper, something Cooper.
Oh, Scott Cooper, I think
that sounds right.
What other stuff did he's done? He's done some other good stuff, but yeah,
I mean, because I looked it up. I remember seeing the trailer for this a long time ago, and I was reading. Filming took place in 2018, and then it got postponed because of COVID. I remember when we were in the office. I think me and future Alex, how we call him,
future Alex,
yeah. But I think he had sent me the trailer, and I was like, this looks good. I think it got postponed twice, and finally watching it, I don't think it's that good.
Hate alert! No.
Yeah. And
we need a sound effect for that.
It's no spoilers or anything, but the movie could have been half hour. It's a beautiful, beautiful looking movie. Like, I just thought, man, this shit is gorgeous, but it's also boring. There's a lot of like time wasted. They could have done a lot more. I'll say that. It's not a bad movie, but it's definitely disappointing.
What are some of the things you did like?
Like I said, it looks great.
Yeah.
The acting is good.
You got Jesse Plemons in there. You got Felicity.
Yeah.
Oh my
Felicity.
God, why can't I remember it? She's great. She's a great actress.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. Like it has everything going for it, but it's just like it's not all there. And that kid, the basically the star of the thing, he does a good job. He actually comes out in the Righteous Gemstones. That's why it's weird, because in the Righteous Gemstones he looks a certain way. I'm like, what the fuck? Like he looks like he reverted in this movie, and that that's why I had looked it up, because filming took place in 2018.
Yeah.
And it's
So time has
just
passed,
now coming out. I think it's like been 5 years, so he grew up. But he's good in it. Everybody is good. It's solid, but it is disappointing.
Yeah, I think you had mentioned that they pad it out a lot of the time, or at least you mentioned it when we were talking before the podcast.
Yeah.
And I'm planning hopefully to watch it this weekend, or because I have the kids this week, so I haven't really had time to watch.
Yeah, I think it's an hour and 40 or an hour and 20, and it felt like it was 2 hours. So
just like Anonymous Animals. God damn.
I don't
watch that. Don't watch it. Well, I think it was based on a short story by Acosta. And I think like HBO Max or Disney Plus or Hulu. I think Hulu does it. That I think they should take their time making like short films. Like maybe you can just make a 30-minute movie, 30-minute movie. You don't have to make it an hour and a half. Make it like into an anthology show, like specific to one of those streaming sites. I think that would be pretty cool. But I mean, I'm hoping to see it because I'll watch anything Guillermo produces or directs or writes or whatever. So hopefully I'll watch that. What else?
Next is Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Yeah,
man, I mean I've been wanting to watch this since forever. I was just scared to go to the theaters.
Yeah,
whatever. I love Ghostbusters. I fucking love Ghostbusters. I can tell you,
ever since you were a kid, ever since you could remember, you wanted to be a Ghostbuster.
Hell yeah,
because
I still do.
That'd be my perfect job. I would love if that was a real job. Yeah. I'd be a Ghostbuster.
I mean, to tell you, like, I've really wanted to stop buying a lot of like knickknacks, pop figures, posters. Yeah. Like, I'm trying to stop with all that physical stuff, but every once in a while, I'll search Google how to build your own proton pack or who's selling a proton pack, because I still fucking want one.
Just some guy under the L in a trench coat, like, hey man, hey bro, you want a proton pack, bro? Yeah. It's because busting makes you feel good.
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, I love Ghostbusters. And Ivan Reitman just passed away.
Yes,
terrible,
that was
terrible. Like
R.I.P. man.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm glad he was able to see his son directed the third one, right?
Yeah.
So I'm glad that he was able to see his son direct it, and he
was a big part of it. Yeah, he was a big part of it. He was there on set. Like, I think he was there on set every day because his son told him, like, I want you to be a part of this because you brought this. I mean, Dan Aykroyd, Harold Ramis, R.I.P.
Yeah, he was my favorite Ghostbuster.
Yeah, and And yeah, I mean, the fact that it was a father-son thing, that must have been a proud moment for the dad, for Ivan, just to see his son like directing something that, you know,
Yeah.
he had come out in the. I think he was in it as a little kid in the first one, and
Part
the second
two,
one, he was in part two.
Part two, I know.
He says like, "You guys are what is it?"
I'm
like,
forgetting what my dad says.
oh, you guys are full of
crooks
shit or whatever.
Shit.
You
Yeah,
guys are full of shit.
And you know, I still love part two.
It's
Looking
good.
back on it, it's not as good as the first one, but I still love it. But I haven't finished watching the new one. Probably an hour into it. I can tell you, I think it's done really well. But it's definitely missing something. Like I was telling you earlier, it feels like an epilogue. Just like it's not really a closer on the series.
But it seems like part of that story, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, even though you haven't finished it, and I won't ruin it because I've seen it. I saw it in theaters. I love it. It's a different movie from part 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And look, and I even like that. What was it? 2016. The
No,
Answer
we're not
the
gonna.
Call.
We're not gonna.
I won't talk about. I'm. There's things I like about it. I do think they kind of missed their shot with it. But that's something we can talk about later. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited for you to watch it. I think right now, if you love Ghostbusters or if you're interested, I would say check it out. It's $9.99. It's on sale right now on like Vudu, and I just bought it on Amazon Prime for $9.99. So it's a good deal for.
Yeah, that's my sweet spot for movies.
Yeah, it's like if it's more than $9.99, I suggest not buying it.
Yeah.
Like there's a bunch of movies I want to watch, like No Time to Die, the new James Bond. But I'm like, no, you're like $18.99. No, talk to me when you're $9.99. Yeah. But what else? You been playing anything or?
Yeah. So I bought the Max Payne franchise 1, 2, and 3. And thanks to Xbox backwards compatibility, I'm able to play them. I never finished the first one. I had borrowed it from a friend, and
No, it just sounds like I borrowed it from. It's not mine.
Yeah,
I'm just holding it for a friend.
I mean, I remember the feeling of it because it was early PS2, and you know, it was such a huge graphical jump coming from PS1 to PS2.
They did a lot of the Matrix shit, no?
Yeah.
Like the bullet time.
Yeah, that was at the height of all that too. So, you know, it was like fucking awesome, you know, bullet time. And you know, I was like, this is really hard, and I stopped playing it. Alex, I think, beat it, but
well, yeah, he beats everything.
Yeah, I mean,
that sounded weird. That's not what I meant, though.
So you know, I've been playing that, and yeah, I'm stuck on a part right now. There are definitely some drawbacks about playing older games, but
well, like the clunky controls or what?
Yeah, clunky controls. It's like 4:3 aspect ratio, so it's not widescreen. It's only taking up part of your screen. You know, you have
those assholes.
Yeah.
God damn it, man.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, that's not on them really, but
Xbox apologist. Come on.
No. Well, hell yeah. I mean,
yeah,
I'm not gonna get into it.
I love you, Xbox.
I do.
I like PlayStation. Just
so if you
Sega Genesis.
Me,
yeah, if you want to sponsor us.
I love Xbox.
Yeah, I'll like it, baby. I'll like Xbox all day if you sponsor us.
Yeah, go suck it, Sony.
Oh, jeez.
But if you want to sponsor it,
yeah.
But yeah, that's really all I have written down. But yeah, how about you?
Well, I just finished season 5 of Rick and Morty. That just came out on HBO Max. I feel like I'm always plugging HBO Max. I mean, I really like Disney Plus because it has a lot of the cartoons I grew up on. But like, I like the Adult Swim stuff. I love fucking Rick and Morty. But it was a good season because they kind of made fun of Captain Planet. They kind of ended some of the like continuity arcs because that's something that I guess the creators don't really like to do is canon stuff. So this season was kind of like, okay, we answered most of the questions. Let's move on. Let's go episodic again. Let's make it just about like episode of like just one and done stories. So yeah, I mean that show is fucking violent and crude and funny and squanch. But yeah, so I've been watching that. So I finished it, which I was surprised because I was like, oh man, because they're 28-minute episodes, so I mean you go by pretty fast, and there's only like 8 or so. What else have we been watching? Yesterday was Friday. We're recording today. It's Saturday. I have the kids, so we watched Alvin and the Chipmunks 1, starring. I love Jason Lee. I think that guy is an underrated actor. He's weird because he named his kid Airplane Pilot or something. Pilot Inspector. But you know what? Do you? You know him because he was like a skateboarder.
Yeah.
But like in the first Alvin and the Chipmunks, like I'm not recommending these. If you have kids, then yes. But I would just walk in and out of the room because it's just noise. I used to love Alvin and the Chipmunks growing up, but like Jason Lee seems like he's phoning it in the first movie, and because he's just like one of the catchphrases is Alvin.
Yeah,
like he's
you had more emotion in what you just said.
Yeah, his is like Alvin.
Yeah, and
like
then they fucking put up the volume.
Yeah, and they just give him his $1 million check to be in it or whatever. Yeah. But yeah, so we saw that, and then they made, I don't know how many of these goddamn chipmunk movies they
4,
made.
Maybe.
I think 4. And the first one I saw, I think it was on HBO Max. The fourth one, because I was trying to see if they were all on like Disney or something. They have the fourth one on Disney. I think it's called what the Alvin and the Chipmunks Road Chip or something.
That's awesome.
And it's oh my god. It's not that great. They have a lot of cameos. It's one of those like road trip, obviously, type movies. They're trying to stop their dad from marrying this doctor because she has like this teenage kid that what's it called, that they're hanging out with and don't like. So they're trying to stop them from proposing. And again, if you have kids, you can plop them down there. You know, the kids had a good time with it. It was funny. It's appropriate for children, so I'll give them that. Although the fact that the little rodents are like checking out the females and they're like this is turning into some weird furry bestiality type of thing. But
it's because they want that audience.
Yeah, they're trying to get that. That's like a quadrant they're trying to hit or whatever.
It's untapped when you think about it.
But yeah, what else have you been watching? I feel like they haven't been watching that much since our Valentine's Day episode. I've been trying to go back to the gym and just start working out again, get away those COVID.
Exercise is important.
Yeah. So listen to us while you exercise. Get them glutes nice and pumped. That's not everything.
Pump.
Yeah.
Or don't just play us in the background. And
Apparently, shout out to Janet Castro for listening to our Valentine's Day episode. She seemed to really enjoy it. So thank you, Janet.
Thank you. Thank you,
Alex. I hear that, or Work Alex, or Force. What'd you call him? Force Alex?
Future Alex.
Future Alex.
Yeah.
Thank you for
listening. Thank you for your Warhammer notes.
Yeah, they were very helpful.
Another big into Warhammer.
But yeah, well, I think that's it. I mean, I don't really remember what else I watched. I'm excited to watch. Hopefully, we can watch Ghostbusters Afterlife. Maybe all together, and then we can talk about it. Peacemaker came out. We won't get into that too much, just because Alex, isn't here. But what did you think overall season?
I had text you because you had text. I forgot what you text, but I text you right after, and I said.
Oh, I said it was this episode was like Slither on steroids.
Yeah, and I had said something like the show didn't disappoint.
Yeah,
and you guys always say that I hate everything. I can tell you, I didn't hate this show, and afterwards I was looking at it as a whole, and I'm just like, there's not one episode I disliked, and there's not one part where I was like, why couldn't they do this? Why didn't they do that? Other shows you're always like, fuck, why didn't he just tell him that? Why didn't they just do this? Why, they could have solved this if they had just done that, or now we gotta wait till next episode.
They don't go out of their way to do like a stupid thing just to make drama happen.
Yeah.
They already have enough like characters and with their motivations, and they play off each other, and that's what works. And yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed it. There's a great cameo near the end, which I was not expecting. But the fact that cameo isn't unwarranted sometimes you see like a cameo just for a cameo. Like, oh, we see like Spider-Man come out in this because it's a Marvel thing, or DC will do it too. But I think this one was warranted because it was something that they kind of joked about since the first episode.
Yeah, I think you're already saying too much.
Yeah, we won't talk about it.
Yeah, we can talk about it after. But I'm saying, it's not disappointing at all, and I'd be really interested. Like, it sucks because I'm sure Alex likes the show too, but it'd be cool if one of you disliked it, only because I
so
want
we
to
can
know
talk about it.
Yeah, because
Alex disliked some of it. He mentioned he didn't like that cameo thing that happens, but I mean, I'm sure if we watch it again, there's certain things I might not like, but I mean, just going off of it, like narratively speaking, I think it worked.
Yeah.
As a comic book fan, like it was comic booky, it was funny, it was serious, it was crude, it was.
I think it hits everything.
Yeah, it was heartwarming in some parts where I wasn't expecting. But I really enjoyed it. I loved the characters, and these are characters I didn't give a shit about. Like, I'm not. Yeah. Like, one, I didn't know who the fuck Peacemaker was. Yeah. Two, some of the characters were in the last Suicide Squad movie as like background people, and they're pushed to the forefront in here. And I hate when they usually do that, because it's like, oh, because you can't use a real comic book, you can't use Nightwing or a Robin or something. You have to use like Homeboy 1 or whatever. But no, it was good. But what else? But I think that's it. Do you want to talk about what's been going on in the news? You mentioned Ivan Reitman passing. You just want to say again, rest in peace. That guy gave us a lot of great movies.
What was
Kindergarten Cop,
Evolution.
Man,
I love that movie. I don't care that it's the same as Ghostbusters. I think it's a fun movie.
Yeah, it's goofy. It's not as it's nowhere near as good as Ghostbusters, but there's that. There's Kindergarten Cop. I grew up on that movie. We saw it in theaters. Going back and seeing it, like he's like a straight up like Schwarzenegger's just like blowing people away in the first 5 minutes, and it's like, no, this was a kids movie.
It is.
Yeah, that's how 90s worked, man. They're like, he's like shooting drug addicts in the first 5-10 minutes, and then he's like, he's not a tumor.
Yeah. Did you see? Just because we're talking about Kindergarten Cop, I think some guy had posted this years ago. But the school you visit in the first Silent Hill game is based on the school.
That's weird
and
Cop. Messed up.
Well, I think with some of the reasoning that people came up with, and it kind of makes sense. Probably back then they didn't want to spend money to send teams out to the U.S. to do research and get that kind of stuff. So what better way to do it than, well, look at this movie. It takes place in a school. Yeah. So they modeled some of that stuff. I think even some of the textures, like the posters throughout the hallways, are the same posters that are in the movie.
Boys have penis, girls have vagina.
Yeah.
It's written on the walls right there. That's what brings back that Silent Hill god.
Yeah.
So thank you, Mr. Reitman. I think I had written on like Facebook, like, thank you for the laughs, for the scares, and the absurdity. Because he made a lot of comedy. So, thank you for all that. What else? I mean, you want to talk about what's been going on in the news?
Yeah.
All right. Well, since I was going to bring this up back in the Valentine's Day episode, but this kind of like, since that episode kind of took a life of its own, they did mention Obi-Wan. The limited series is starting up it's starting up in May. So it's limited series, so chances are it's just going to be that one and done show. Kind of like
which I'm fine with. I don't need an ongoing.
Yeah, and this one, from what I'm reading, is it takes place 10 years after. I put Revenger of the Sith, Revenge of the Sith. Yeah. So little Luke will probably be around like 9 or 10. Anakin Skywalker's coming back. Hayden Christensen.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm hoping they have a fight. Like, I know people are like, well, isn't the fight they have in New Hope like, oh, the last time we fought, I was just a student, and now I'm like the master, and it's like only the master of assholes. So I'm hoping that this is the fight that we're actually referring to. But
I mean, sometimes that stuff upsets me when they break like canon or whatever. But to have
to the X-Men guys.
I mean, to have so many creatives on a franchise like this huge, you know, you're bound to run into problems and stuff. So, you know, if they can do it in a way that doesn't really upset established canon, then go for it. You know, all I'm hoping for, I know we haven't talked about Book of Boba Fett. Like
a detailed one.
Yeah, but I can tell you, like, that show.
Oh, Alex isn't listening. We can talk a little. You want to talk a little bit about it? We can talk about it. He's not gonna listen to it.
Do you? I mean, I don't know. We can talk.
Yeah.
About it.
What? I know because it was. You had seemed to be bothered. I think a lot more about this season.
Yeah.
Go for it.
I mean, well, you know,
this is our ketchup episode. Yeah. So you know what? We're going to spoilers about Book of Boba Fett.
Ketchup Part 2.
Book of Spiral from the Jigsaw Files.
Put them in a spout. You know, I'm sure people are listening. Like, oh, give me a break with Star Wars and stuff. Like, just have fun. But you know, I mean, honestly,
Star Trek.
Even like, no, I didn't care for it too much. First. Let's nerd out.
Damn.
Let's nerd out.
Yeah, nerd out. Yeah, go for it.
I mean, I think one of the complaints I see online a lot, and you know, that hit me right away. Why Tatooine again with Tatooine?
I can see that.
You know, one of the reasons I like Star Wars, just one of the reasons is the planet traveling.
Yeah.
You know, I want to see all these different places and stuff, and why have this series take place on Tatooine? Maybe because they didn't have the budget for more stuff.
Oh no, the mouse has money.
But sometimes it seems like they don't want to spend.
Yeah.
So
they didn't listen to Anakin when he was like, "I hate sand.
Yeah,
it's rough, it's coarse,
it gets everywhere.
It gets everywhere, especially in those hard to reach crimes."
But you know, that's complaint number one. Two is, I feel that he was just kind of
the character of Boba Fett.
Badass, yeah, Boba Fett. I mean, I know you say that you never really cared for him and stuff, and you know,
he was just a cool-looking character.
Yeah, he was, but
that's it.
I think, why not make him a badass to begin with? Because and look, again, I had to question, and I think it was that first episode he's captured and he tries to run away, but he even asked like that other dude that's captured along with him. He's like, "You want me to set you free?" Like, that doesn't seem like the kind of person he would be. You know, maybe that's nitpicking, but I just kind of hated that, and he kind of. I feel like that kind of establishes him, because they do that multiple times throughout the series, where he's always. It seems like he always has the wrong answer. You know, I forgot he had said something, and then those cyberpunk kids were like, "No, how about we do this instead?" And he's like, "You're right. Let's do what you said." Then why fucking?
I didn't notice that. Like, it was like a trope in each episode where Boba Fett has taken over Jabba the Hutt's syndicate, right? And he's on Tatooine, so he's part of, like, he's a crime kingpin. You know, he's the soprano in the Star Wars world, but he's always questioning everything. Like, he's like, "So what do you think, minion?" And she's like, "I think that's a bad idea." "I think it's a bad idea too." Almost like it was. It's like he never has like you know what? I'm set on doing this. This is how we're gonna do it. It's always like, But then, yeah, I can see that he's always like questioning, and someone always kind of has a better idea. Fennec Shand, who is played by the wonderful Ming-Na Wen.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. I never questioned her throughout that show. I was like, she is a badass, and that's it.
Yeah,
you know, she has the talk, she has the walk, but Boba Fett kind of has neither.
Yeah, I mean, he's played by Timura. Is it Timura Morrison? That guy's. I love that guy. He's great in Aquaman. He's great as Django. I like him. He's a very good actor. He's a strong actor. But sometimes they don't give him, I think, enough of those little badass moments that we want to see from a Boba Fett. I think he got a lot of those in The Mandalorian season 2, but in here he's kind of like he's hurt.
He's dumbed down. That's how I.
Yeah, I guess in a certain way, yeah. And he's this guy who's grown up being this badass bounty hunter. He's been fighting his whole life, but he does a lot of like silly, verging on like stupid mistakes, and it almost seems like all his not his minions, but his underlings or his partners like Fennec have like a better grasp on the situation. But he does have some badass moments in like near the end. But yeah, I mean, a lot of the like, did you like the backstory? How they kind of set up how he got out of that sand pit?
No, I mean,
because that's the first couple of episodes. Is like we're trying to catch up what happened after Return of the Jedi.
See, look, I'm glad they showed him getting out of it.
Sarlacc pit before you nerds.
Yeah,
trust me, I know.
Yeah,
I'm a nerd too.
I appreciate that kind of stuff because it's cool. That he survived that, and I know that was the thing, like from the books way back, that he actually survived and they actually went through with it, and he's back. But I don't know. At first I thought it was a little like, I don't care that he's getting along with the
Tusken Raiders.
Yeah,
yeah. That's all. We should just talk in the rest of the episode in Tusken.
Utini. I know those are the Ewoks, but Ewoks.
Oof! Deducted points. Yeah. Give me back your Star Wars.
Yeah. And the whole Warhammer.
Back to Warhammer.
Yeah. But I guess it. That just goes back to, I don't care that he's on Tatooine again. Yeah. But anyways, looking back at those episodes, he kept fucking flashing back to Camino and the clone facility, and I thought that was gonna lead to something.
Oh, you're right. He kept having like, it was almost like a flashback to when he was a child.
Yeah.
And to his dad, and that never intersects with what's happening in the present time.
Yeah, and I think I had told you this, but I thought that he was in the Bacta tank. I thought he was in that tank, maybe thinking that, because he's a clone, his cells are
deteriorating.
Yeah, and he's gonna fall apart, so he constantly has to be in that tank. And
getting some of that Ben Reilly type action.
Yeah, so I thought, that's pretty interesting.
You Spider-Man nerds know what I'm talking about.
We haven't really seen like a clone last this long. Yeah. I mean, somewhat, but
they got those. What are they called? Those Bad Batch guys? Is that them? Aren't they also like Jangos? See, I don't watch the animated stuff, so I don't know much about.
Yeah, but this is we've only seen them in the animated, and we don't know their fate just yet. But so with this, like, I thought that was gonna be this thing. No, he was just healing because he was in the Sarlacc pit, and
he got digested.
He's done. Like,
he got redigested again when he tries to go find his armor. I'm like, God damn it, man!
I just think it fell apart, and then the Mandalorian comes out, and they spend 2 episodes on
2 episodes with him
in the Book of Boba Fett show.
Yeah.
So that was upsetting.
That was Mandalorian like 2.5.
Yeah, but I can tell you I fucking love those episodes.
Bryce Dallas Howard directed the first part. She's great. She needs to direct a Star Wars episode.
And this is what I'm
movie.
Saying. Like, I was fucking smiling. Like, the whole fucking time. I had so much fun with all the things. And a lot of it was fan service. But then it flows natural. Like when I'm forgetting... that lady with I forget her name, but she got that Naboo starfighter.
Oh, the one that helps the Mandalorian rebuild his ship or whatever.
Yeah, and he started flying that thing through the pod race track.
Yeah.
And they show
through the canyons and stuff.
Yeah, they show those angles right from Phantom Menace, and I'm like, thank you. Like it wasn't, you didn't have to do that, and it happened so quick, but it's just a little callback to the fans. Hey, this is the same place, and
not like gratuitous. Yeah, it's like it makes sense. It's and then like another little thing. If you can't, you guys can't see it, but he is smiling from ear to ear right now.
And I don't smile, but and
He's like those British guards in front of the palace.
When when what's his name? When Luke is carrying Grogu.
Oh yeah, spoilers. I forgot. If we said spoilers,
Yeah,
Luke, baby.
Yeah. Look,
The once and future Jedi.
Another nitpick.
Nipple pick.
Yeah, I don't know who came up with this, but when he was training Grogu, he's like, you need to abandon all attachments and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
That did upset me because I feel like that was against his character. But anyways,
yeah.
He has him on his back, and it mirrors like when he's on Dagobah, and he's with Yoda, and and like
do or do not.
Does it mirror that? But again, a little fan service when he fucking does the front flip, like running through the
forest,
and
El Bosque.
And what someone had mentioned on Reddit, and I thought, who knows if it's intentional or not, but back on Dagobah, like that swamp is murky, it's depressing looking, terrible. Everything's kind of decaying.
Yeah,
and then where he's building his new Jedi temple, it's all bright, full of life.
Yeah,
and he's starting the Jedi Order again. Like, yeah, I think it was a great little thing if you pick up on these things. So,
well, it's poetry. It rhymes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Lucas.
Yeah, thank you. But like I said, I love all that. And then yeah, they go back to Boba Fett,
and they go back.
I just feel like it's not a good series, but those Mandalorian episodes were fucking legit.
Yeah, they were a highlight. I actually like the Robert Rodriguez directed episodes. I can tell which ones were his, even though I'm like, oh, he probably just directed the first one. Oh man, I like that they have these punk rock.
I don't like them.
The little gang. I thought they looked cool. I like their speeder bikes.
Again,
it's just
I'm gonna cut you off and say,
oh my god,
it upsets me. It upsets me that I get upset looking at them. I feel so like they're so out of place.
I think
they would look better on Coruscant or something. But
yeah, there you go.
I
Stay
guess,
in your own planet.
Yeah, you
fucking racist.
Yeah. Robotologists or robophobes?
Yeah, fucking robophobes.
I don't know. It's just, but whatever. I'm not gonna get into it because,
I'm just gonna say they added nothing to the show. I thought they looked cool.
Subtracted.
And yes, I thought they looked cool. And you know what? At this point, it's again, I didn't really have high hopes for Boba Fett. It was one of the shows I didn't watch week to week. But when I was able to watch the first 4 episodes. Binge, and I enjoyed his backstory. I enjoyed the stuff with the Tusken Raiders, how he was learning to be part of a family, and that kind of got me just because he was a clone. But the guy that he was cloned from, Jango Fett, treated him like a son and him a father. But then he was killed by Nick Fury before he got that eye patch, and so it's almost been this whole time he's been just looking for a family, and then he finds his family. And the Tusken Raiders, they end up getting massacred. Kind of his fault. And that was one of the things that I didn't think worked narratively at the end of the season, because that comes back, what were they called? The Spike Gang? Or
I don't know.
The Pikes.
The gang.
The ones that were they were trying to trade spice.
Yeah.
And I remember texting my ex-coworkers or my friends or whatever, when did this become Dune? It's all about spice and shit, which I get. Spice has also been in Star Wars, but obviously they stole that shit from Dune. But but it's it's their drug that they're just trying to pass by. But I didn't think it worked narratively at the end of the season, because it's this gang killed these Tusken Raiders, and then he doesn't interact with them at the ending of the season. It's Fennec Shand that takes him out.
Saying. He doesn't do shit.
He has a cool scene with the Rancor. And there's this great battle in the last few episodes. I think it's fun. It's this Western thing. Everyone's just shooting. It goes from a Western to Saving Private Ryan, little battle in the streets.
But you see, that was another thing that I didn't like. Part of it is good, and then I think it quickly falls apart. Those 2 giant robots come out, and
take most of the.
Yeah, like they're shooting at him and they're like, "Oh my god!" And
It's
let's
almost
run
like
in a straight line instead of fucking scattering. And that's a little nitpick, but
they
then,
kind of write themselves into a hole, literally.
yeah,
Into a corner. I mean,
yeah,
into a corner.
into that corner, and they're like, "Okay, we have him there. Oh, what's the plan, boss? Should we proceed? No, just kind of hang out and like shoot at the people and." I don't know. I mean, just fucking stay there.
I kind of wish there was more interaction between, and he does a little bit with like some of the other heads of the syndicate or whatever. But I kind of wanted to see that Boba Fett, that badass one that we've been hearing about, or in the expanded lore or whatever, and him being the one that takes out the gang. Like Vanek's like, "Do you want me to take them out?" He's like, "No, like it is something I have, like I do," and then he just boom. Everything is like I'm willing to do my own dirty work.
Yeah.
Which because he gets into the fights. He has a great scene with the Mandalorian where they're teaming up and they're fighting all these bad guys.
Yeah, that was
beautiful.
The highlight. That was
great. I loved it. And for action's sake, the action is great. But narratively speaking, there's no payoff.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping going forward they do a little bit more on that. They do more character based stuff.
And just we already mentioned spoilers, but
spoilers.
Like,
there's spoilers?
Yeah, we were talking about Grogu and
oh baby Grogu. No baby Grogu,
like,
it's baby
Grogu.
Yoda, Dad.
Yeah, where he's like, I'm not calling you that.
Yeah.
But I'll say this: coming from the Clone Wars show, where Cad Bane is a huge thing in it.
He's that blue guy.
Yeah, when I saw him in live action, I was like, wow, they fucking actually did it. They brought him. I
thought he looked cool.
Yeah, and I agree too. I guess that was a thing about some people got upset. He didn't look exactly.
He didn't look CGI.
Which is, I don't care. I think they fucking translated him well. But the thing that is kind of upsetting is he didn't really do anything. I thought he was going to have this whole thing with Boba Fett, and they ended up kind of just like sword fighting or something. And
that's not a euphemism.
Yeah. And I had told you first I had told you maybe it's because Cad Bane wanted to die.
Yeah, that was your theory.
I can see and he wanted to die by Boba Fett's hand.
Yeah. Because he talks about he's like, well, I've known you your whole life. I'm like, I have no idea what the fuck you guys are talking about.
They've had a lot of run-ins
in the show, and
because
Clone
they're
Wars?
all bounty hunters and.
But in Clone Wars, because I don't know where I would.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's an actual. Okay.
Yeah.
See, I didn't know Boba Fett came out in Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Is he baby
kid.
Boba Fett?
Yeah,
No.
he's a kid in there, and I'm forgetting some of the stuff that happens, but yeah, they do have some run-ins, and even Fennec Shand had some run-ins with.
I wouldn't mind having a few run-ins with Fennec Shand.
But his thing is still beeping. Whether that means he's still alive or
My
not,
thing will be beeping. Okay, all right, that's it.
Yeah, Cad Bane. So he could come back. We'll see.
We'll see. I mean, it's still early. Look, I'm sure a bunch of people didn't know they would ever make a fucking Boba Fett show. This was supposed to be a movie years ago by that dude that made Chronicle. Until he fucked up everything, talking shit about Fox and all that Fantastic Four stuff. But yeah,
I'll say this, just a quick. To summarize. You can skip most episodes. Oof. Just watch the Mandalorian episode and the last episode, and I think you'll be good.
Yeah. Well, my hope going forward is Robert Rodriguez does some more writing, because I feel like I've enjoyed this stuff. Robert Rodriguez was one of my favorite directors, growing up. Desperado, The Faculty, El Mariachi. From Dusk Till Dawn, and then Spy Kids, and then to a lesser degree there's the other Spy Kids movies. And it's just he became a lot of that little kid stuff, which is fine. I mean, do you do you have your own company, you can do whatever. But I enjoy watching him coming back into some sort of property. Star Wars kind of fits him well. I hope he does some more stuff. He brought Machete into the universe, guys. So I thought that was cool.
That's the only thing I'll say. I cared for. I'm gonna say this. I liked him back in the day too. I do not think he's a good fit for Star Wars.
No, well, I think what I do want is to bring Joe Johnston into the universe. For those who don't know, Joe Johnston was one of the artists that actually helped create Boba Fett. He directed Captain America, the first one. He directed Jumanji, The Rocketeer.
Put the dice in your mouth.
Yeah. And I'm so surprised. I don't know if he's retired. I hope not, because I think he would come back and make some great episodes, especially since he has the insight for that. But yeah, so look, we kind of did a spoiler review on Boba Fett.
The quick books of Boba Fett.
Yeah, the Cliff Notes review of Boba Fett. What else was we gonna talk about? Well, this was a little bit of older news. Ron Perlman came out on the Twitters, on Facebook.
What the fuck are you talking about? Came out?
Yeah.
And then on Twitch?
Yeah, he came out talking about like a Hellboy movie.
Oh.
So he said that, he's 71 years old.
Oh shit.
He does not want to dress up as Hellboy again, but he's willing to fucking do it for the fans. And you know what? The way they left fucking Hellboy, Golden Army, they need to finish that story, man. I am up for it. I was not a fan of the David Harbour led Hellboy. I know you liked it, which I'm like for real, yeah. Mr. I Hate Everything. Yep. It's like I did not enjoy it. I think I maybe enjoyed little pieces of it, and I really liked the director. He did The Descent, which is one of the best horror movies of all time. I can hear my kids screaming upstairs.
They're just powering up.
This is what happens when you have your studio inside your home. So I don't know. Would you be willing to see another Hellboy with help with Guillermo and all that?
I love Guillermo, and I love Ron Perlman. I can tell you those movies.
Shout out to Selma Blair.
Yeah, those movies I've always found kind of boring. They're good movies. I just think something is not there.
I think what you and Alex had maybe mentioned in the past is Alex's issue with him is he really likes the movies, but the action seems a little slow due to the fact it's Ron Perlman. He's an older guy. He's wearing tons of makeup, so you can't really do those crazy action scenes like you would see like a Spider-Man or do.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's kind of what it is. And maybe that's why I like the new one, because it was kind of, it was ridiculous action, and I kind of liked that. I could turn my brain off for that movie.
Well, I think with the Guillermo ones, you kind of have to turn your brain off.
Yeah.
Sorry if you hear me crunching. Well, sorry, I'm eating the chile mango candy. Sorry, I love eating Mexican chile mango candy. But yeah, all right. Well, it looks like we probably want to see another one. Senor Snyder, Zack Snyder, back in the news. He's rounded out the cast for his Star Wars version movie, because he wanted to do a Star Wars movie, but that never came to fruition. So he started his own type. He's gonna wants to do his own Star Wars universe.
Oh, okay.
It's called Rebel Moon. It's gonna star Sofia Boutella. She's the. Did you see Kingsman, the first one? She's the one with the amputated legs. Oh. She was in that Mummy movie with Tom Cruise. The one that doesn't have... Yeah. Yeah. The one without Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz. Yeah. Charlie Hunnam's in it. Oh my God. I do not want to butcher his name because he's such a great actor. Dijmun Hansu.
Oh, yeah.
Alex knows how to pronounce it because he's better at it. There's Ray Fisher, Cyborg's gonna be in it.
Cool.
Which is nice because I felt like that guy wasn't gonna get cast in anything anymore after all that.
That fucking sucks, man. You just looking at that kind of stuff, you basically achieve your dream of becoming an actor, and then something fucks you up.
Yeah.
And it's not it's not because of you, but someone kind of put this wall in front of you and was like, you're not
glass ceiling.
You're not gonna fucking do shit anymore. That sucks.
So well, he's in it. I mean, it's gonna be on Netflix. He hopes to do a big universe type thing. It's basically Seven Samurai, which is kind of what he did with Justice League, almost one hero going to find other people to fight for them. It's a Bug's Life in space.
I love A Bug's Life.
So the girl Sophia has to find a bunch of people to fight for her planet. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited. I like Zack Snyder.
I do too.
Alex is another. He's not that big fan. I'm not to say I love all his movies because I don't. But there's things I used to not like him when I was younger. I think, and now I think I've come around on him. I mean, Watchmen, I think is my favorite of his movies. But the director's cut, not the ultimate cut. Is that the one with the Black Freighter stuff?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I would prefer the director's cut. If you guys haven't watched it, I would recommend.
I always
Watchmen
skip that
director's
Black
cut.
Freighter.
Yeah,
Always.
And you know, I will be the first one to say I think I like it better than the comic book. Bam! Come at me, Alan Moore.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I shall put a spell on you. And then what else? We got, speaking of movies ramping up, they're making the Kraven the Hunter movie. Russell Crowe's in it.
I'm down.
So it's going to be, you didn't see that coming? Quicksilver. He's going to play Kraven the Hunter. Cody Smith McPhee, he played Nightcrawler in the new X-Men.
The real thin dude.
The real thin dude, yeah.
Yeah.
He's a good actor. He was supposed to come out as a chameleon, but he had a scheduling conflict. So it sounds like Chameleon's going to be in it. If you guys know the comics, the Chameleon and Kraven are like half brothers. Kraven the Hunter is like Crocodile Dundee, that, you know, a Russian version where he just hunts down the most dangerous game. I don't know how they're going to make him into a hero, because one of his most famous storylines is that he hunts Spider-Man down and like basically kills him. So we'll see how that goes.
I'm excited. Whatever. Like, even, we talked a little bit about that Carnage movie. Even though it sucked, I still enjoy watching that kind of
It's
stuff.
hot Cheetos.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's hot Cheetos. You know, like you eat it and it tastes good, and then later you're like, oh, my stomach hurts.
Yeah.
Like,
it's like fast food, junk food. I'm not looking for fucking Citizen Kane with these movies.
Yeah.
But I enjoy them. So yeah, bring it on.
Bring it on. What's up? Oh, you know what? We can talk about this. I think you have a little bit more to talk about. So we're at a point in our lives where everything old is new again. Like, they brought back Star Wars is hitting, hard. We got I can't think of anything else. Ghostbusters.
Yeah, it's just Star Wars.
Yeah, just Star Wars. It's all about the mouse. But Futurama's coming back.
Yeah, I can tell you, I don't care.
Really?
Yeah, I don't care.
Were you a fan of Futurama?
No, yeah, I love Futurama.
That show makes me cry. Like, there's some beautiful episodes.
It's emotional. I'm a big animation guy, so that show, I think, has been consistently animated really well.
Yeah.
I don't think it's ever looked cheap, and it has a cool animation style as well. But I just, why can't a show just be done? I don't even think I've seen the last.
Money, Jill.
Yeah. Yeah. Money, motherfucker.
Yeah. I needed Alex for the money, Jill.
But I just kind of feel like, just fucking finish it.
Well, it was finished. Like, canceled like how many times?
Well, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like it's just like, I think I just want something to be definitive.
Yeah.
Like, here's another thing. I love The Wire. I'll always fucking love it. Like,
I haven't finished watching it.
And I've bought that show. Like, I have every season on DVD, and then I fucking got the complete series on Blu-ray. I have a digital copy of the complete series, and then it was recently on sale again digitally, and I thought about buying it again.
So you're a casual fan.
Yeah. Here and there, I don't know any of the, but I don't want them to make another one. That show is done. It ended.
It did have a series finale.
Yeah, and as much as I kind of would like to, Jesus beignet. As much as I would like,
she's cold,
them to continue, maybe I want it just to be done.
What do you think about the fact that John DiMaggio, the voice of Bender, is not probably coming back?
It's funny because I think GameSpot put out a tweet saying John DiMaggio's not coming back because he wants more money.
Yeah.
And then he replied with his own tweet and said, "Not true, clickbait." Like, you fucking assholes. Yeah, he talks voices a lot of the characters.
Kiss my shiny metal ass.
Yeah.
I don't know what voice that was.
Yeah.
Accents are definitely not my thing.
Um,
We haven't done accents in a while.
Yeah, well, I feel like my voice has changed and I can't do some of the stuff I used to.
Every time I hear this, like when I hear the podcast, just make sure I'm like, I feel like I sound like a 12-year-old girl. And then you and Alex are like, yeah, so
I think you sound better than me. like right now, hearing my voice, I'm like, oh, there's some emotion in it. And then when I hear it back in the podcast, I'm like, hey,
Well, this is okay. Truth time. I'm not. You didn't know this, Betin, but Mommy and Papi built you. You're a robot.
Yeah. No, I know.
Yeah. Oh no, I've known for years.
I got cut last time and I didn't bleed. There were just gears inside.
Yeah, you just started cutting off your skin, and then there's an endoskeleton.
Endoskeleton.
And like a barcode on there.
Yeah.
Weird.
But that just reminded me about that. Whatever.
No, I gotta say what?
No, no.
Oh, no.
After the podcast.
Oh.
But no, that'd be really interesting. They'd have to find a guy that sounds just like Bender, or they can do something like this is Bender's firmware got updated and now he sounds different. But I don't know. I presume what is it going to be on Hulu?
I think it probably might be on Hulu.
Then I'm not watching it because I don't have Hulu. So.
Well, who knows? I mean, it might be on Hulu, it might be on Disney Plus. I don't think they've decided.
Oh,
or at least I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's right. Fine.
If they did, let us know. But I think that's a big mistake. I think he's a big part of that show. Unless they're gonna do that thing with like they did with Poochie on the Itchy and Scratchy show. Is like Bender went home to on his way to his home planet and died.
I mean, see that would just be dumb. Like, yeah, like you said, he's a big part of that show. I mean. He's a fucking thing that the whole complete series came in. Yeah. That Bender head case, like.
I would say he's like the second co-lead after Fry. I mean, it's Fry, Leela, and Bender.
Yeah. Yep.
It's always Trinity's on this show.
Yeah.
Trinity, help me!
Good news, everyone.
Yeah.
To smithereens, you say.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think I don't know if money was a big part of it. I know he said it was like about respect, and I think they were. And I've been hearing a lot of this stuff. Like online and stuff, whether it's true or not, I don't know. That they try to get more actors, obviously for cheap, and it's like, well, no, like you're telling me to take time out of my day to do this acting gig, and if it's for voice actors, they do a lot of jobs, so it's not like the only thing he's doing. But if they're not going to be paying him the amount that he or whoever, like Pamela Siegel, who talks Leela. You know, Peggy from Married with Children. Like, if they're not gonna pay them the correct, like the amount they're worth. Yeah. You know, and they've been in this show forever. It's like, I don't know, is it worth it? I'm not sure. I mean, I think I heard the same thing with one of the actresses they're doing a Teen Wolf movie based off of the MTV show that was on.
Oh, okay.
And one of the actresses, I think it was an Asian actress, was getting like a third of what her white co-stars were getting. It's like, well, what the fuck? At that point, it's like almost like, fuck you, man. Yeah. You're kind of just like, we want to just add you because we know there's fans, but we're not willing to pay.
But we don't want to pay. Yeah. Fuck that shit. Yeah.
Fuck it. Then there's also King of the Hill's probably coming back. You're a big King of the Hill fan.
I started getting into it more. I still haven't finished it because that Hulu thing, but
what is Bobby saying? Like, hands off my back! I don't know you.
I don't know you. It's great. I think as an adult,
what are you talking about? That's all I. What are you talking about?
As an adult, I appreciate more of the humor, and the only reason I'm looking forward to that
is propane gas your go-to for grilling.
Propane accessories, the only reason I'm looking forward to that is the time jump that supposedly they might do. To see an older Bobby, an older Hank, an older everybody.
It's not stagnant. It's not. They're not stuck in that like 1998 world.
So I would love to see that. I don't know about a series, like maybe as a 2-part movie, something like that. I think that'd be more interesting.
2023, 2024.
But
King of the Hill.
Yeah, that's where
Return of the Hank. And then they're also bringing back. This is another Mike Judge. Mike Judge created King of the Hill. He also created Beavis and Butthead. That's coming out this year. I've never seen the show. I think I might have seen some episodes at our like cousin's house back in the day when we were like kids, and it was weird. I remember seeing the movie. We saw the movie in theaters, though.
The movie I remember seeing in theaters.
You and our cousin Jose, we saw it in theaters, which I love that movie. That movie's hilarious.
Yeah.
Cornholio. Do you have TP for my bunghole?
Are you those kids whose camper they're whacking in?
Yeah. No, they're like, no, excuse me. Are you those kids that whack off? No, are you kids who's whacking in the camper? Yeah,
master.
Yeah, you like you have braces.
Come to butter. No,
Yeah.
I mean, full of fucking quotes, but well, hold on. We'll take a short break and we'll be right back.
I'm almost done with her.
So
and then this one's supposed to be they're aged up to because I guess they were 17.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So they're like in their 40s or something. They're middle aged and they look fucked up.
I mean, yeah, like I'm down for that too, just because it's an evolution.
Devolution in their case.
They look just like their dads too, which is great.
You didn't score. I scored.
Yeah. So that's cool. I don't know how long a series like that can last because I think they already had tried bringing them back and
there was because I remember when I think they brought them back when we actually had cable. Now it's like all streaming, but they brought them back for like a season or two. But yeah, this is Mike Judge said he probably wanted to do something when they were older. Which you know what, Simpsons, maybe you should try a little bit. I think that would help.
I've always said that. Yeah, why not fucking just age them up? But
try new stories like that might open a venue for you. You know what? I haven't seen The Simpsons in like 15. Every time I try to see an episode, I don't like it.
Yeah,
I've tried, and I know like the actors are like, fuck you guys for if you don't like it. Like we've been consistent for 30 years.
Fuck you.
Like I we're still relevant. I'm like, yeah, but the relevancy is more like. I'm sure there's people. Nobody wants to make a bad show. We always talk about it. Nobody wants to make a bad show or bad movie. But I don't know. There's something missing, I think.
No, yeah. Look, I'm gonna call bullshit on that, and I know we're not doing our fuck you segment anymore.
No, well, we might, but not. We're not gonna ram anything into anyone's.
Yeah, So I'm just gonna say that's bullshit. Again, like you, I haven't really watched the show, but. Yeah, some of the stuff I've tried watching, I've actually seen some of the specials on Disney.
Yeah. The little like 5-minute stuff,
the Maggie stuff. Yeah, I don't care for it.
Yeah, I like the first one, the daycare one or whatever, but it felt like it was an episode that they did back in '92.
Yeah, and
it was still nice. It was so cute. It's probably one of the better ones.
And the other thing is, like I've told you, I'm a big animation guy, and their animation is fucking ugly.
And by ugly, it's too cleaned up.
Yeah, but I mean, I hate the fucking way it looks. But regardless of that, like, is it funny or not? I didn't think it was funny. And I just don't care about it. And back then, The Simpsons was my life. It still is a huge part of my life, at least the older stuff. But back then it was like Simpsons, and there wasn't much else out there. Now, like, you talk about Rick and Morty and stuff, like, there's so many more shows out there that I can't even believe The Simpsons are still relevant. I think it's more like, they're writing on their name. Like, oh, you remember The Simpsons? Hey, we're still on. Like,
please, we're still on.
Yeah, who watches them anymore?
I wish I could talk to somebody that watches this still. Like, at least they can show me, be like, you know what? You might not like this, but these are the episodes I think you might like from seasons. Jesus Christ, what is it, 58 to 60?
Yeah, but then that's even the thing too. Is like, who cares what The Simpsons have to say? Like, other people.
I used to.
Yeah. Like I just don't think like who fucking cares about their opinion? But here I am.
They don't care. I mean, they get paid like $2 million per episode.
Yeah.
So those guys are rich. Yeah. That's why, like, Dan Castellaneta, I heard. Well, I don't know if he didn't want to do it, but I don't think he'd go do like the voice of Megavolt on Darkwing Duck unless they gave him $2 million. Like, who knows? But yeah, I mean, other than that, I think we're pretty caught up. Oh, we're speaking of like still on the animation thing. We saw like a few episodes of Cuphead based off of that video game. You said you didn't like how it. I think it looks great.
No, yeah,
but
I'm not a fan of the animation.
But I don't know. I mean, the kids seemed to enjoy it. It was pretty funny. I I think there's more. I mean, we haven't seen all the episodes, but it looks pretty cute. It's cute. It's funny.
Yeah, I mean, story wise, like it was funny. Like the gags and stuff. That's cool. I just. And I was saying a little bit about it. Like, I understand they're not going to give them a huge budget and be like, oh, you can take your time and animate the fuck out of this. But,
yeah.
But,
well, it's Netflix.
So
I don't think they would until after they make sure they hit it.
Yeah, they're not. I mean, even if they did, they wouldn't.
Yeah.
But whatever. That doesn't matter. I mean, I think most people nowadays don't care about animation anyway. So that's fine. Whatever.
Well, what's another thing? Oh, did you watch what's else? Stranger Things?
I've never seen.
You never seen it? Oh, okay. Well, it's just been announced that it's gonna end in season 5. Season 4. Well, season 3 came out like forever ago. It was like 2-3 years ago, and season 4 is supposed to pick back up later this year and split into 2 parts. I kind of hate when they do that, where it's like,
oh yeah.
You know, just like fucking 40K does like parts A and BZ 0.231. I
actually like it when they do it.
Yeah, no, yeah, those Blood Angels. I swear to God, the imperative primitive emperor lords,
Conquistus and Pulse Peddington.
Yeah, Lord Tang and
Rita Repulsa.
Rita Repulsa. When she came out, I almost died when she took off her. Yeah, no, he did. I was there. Like, he had the wedding going on, and I was just like, Rita Repulsa when she takes off her Master Chief helmet in 40K, and I was just like, you guys hit the motherland. Like, you made it.
Fucking did it. You motherfucking
everything. Yeah, you fucking asshole. You son of a bitch.
Yeah.
You did it. So yeah, we love 40K, 401K, whatever. But yeah, I think that's it. I mean, do you have anything else you wanted to talk about? But I think
no.
Well,
we ended up talking about quite a bit.
Yeah, this was a good relish episode.
Yeah.
So I think hopefully next week we'll bring back Alex. We'll have probably a main topic to actually discuss. But it's fun just catching up, or catsup.
Mustarding.
The mustarding. What the fuck is catsup? Do they like what is?
Catsup?
Yeah, catsup.
Oh,
remember, I was so confused when I was a kid. We'd go to like Donald's and stuff, and like, no, I'm sorry, ketchup, and they're like, yes, catsup. Yeah, I'm like, what is this made out of cats?
If you've never seen catsup, I'm pretty sure that's the name of an animation, like a Japanese animation. It's fucking good.
How pornographic, and how many tentacles are in there?
I don't know pornographic, but it's kind of
hentai. Tell me about the hentai, Betin. Just tell me how many tentacles.
You gotta study 40K first.
Oh, jeez.
And that'll lead into the hentai version of Warhammer.
Isn't 40K Warhammer just all hentai all the time? Like, isn't that what that you get the little figurines and then you just, you stick them?
It's a prelude to the epilogue.
Yeah.
But, no, catsup I think is legit. Yeah, you should check that out. It's probably on YouTube somewhere.
YouTube it. Oh, last point in time. I hopefully when it comes out on Tubi or something, I will watch Uncharted. But I think we talked a little bit about it last time where it hasn't been doing that well. Review wise, it hits theaters this Thursday or this past. So it's on right now. So if you guys have seen it, what do you guys think? Let us know. I want to watch this because it's Uncharted, but it looks like such a movie.
Yeah.
Like, I think we had talked about it a little bit, or you had mentioned it, where it was like Jurassic Park Dominion looks like you're actually filming in the real world.
Yeah.
Whereas Uncharted looks like movie world. Yeah. Like almost like Last Action Hero type world. Like, it's a movie. Yes, we know all movies are fucking movies. Yeah. All right, get the fuck off my back.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, you Christopher Nolan movies and you're in Chicago and that's Gotham. Like, you can feel it. It's real. You can see it outside your window.
Yeah.
Whereas this one, it looks like a video game, but the video game looks like it did it better.
Yeah.
So, but I'm hoping to watch it. I want to give every movie a chance. Like I gave Anonymous Animals, and you fucking Baptiste. Yeah. But yeah. But do you know you're an asshole? Do you know you're an asshole, Betin?
Yeah. Or are you saying for
for right now? If you want to give one, no. All right. Do you want to apologize to Julia Roberts?
You know what? Yeah. No, I'm not gonna look.
She says she wants to meet with you. She wants to have a nice dinner with you and pray, eat, love.
Yeah.
You all night.
We
long.
kinda,
No, I'm just kidding.
I was talking
kidding.
about it a little bit at work, but
Yeah.
whatever. I said what I said.
I said what I said.
I'm never gonna watch that movie, and whatever. I'm not gonna try to be an asshole and be like, oh, fuck this, fuck,
Yeah.
But
I get what you mean.
Whatever.
It was funny. A lot of people that said that they enjoyed that part, they're like, you know what? You fucking hit it on the head.
You know what's funny is like, because I'm on Reddit all the time. But a couple days after that, someone had posted a thread saying, like, who's a celebrity that everybody loves and you hate? And people started naming all these things. And I was like, because I know you were kind of like, man, maybe we should take that episode down and blah, blah, blah. But man, people fucking love hating stuff, and sure, because
It's
you're
fun.
anonymous and whatever.
It's goofy. I mean, we don't mean any ill intent to anybody.
Yeah,
obviously.
no.
We do everything for comedy. We
never
laugh our own shit.
Yeah. We never inciting violence. I'm just saying, like,
Don't be like those assholes and scream.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just saying I don't care for like.
No, I get it. It was funny. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna lie. I do not like those commercials for a perfume. It's like, all right, get off it a little bit.
So,
but all of them,
get off.
Like what was his name? Pepsi Sphere or whatever you said. Matthew McConaughey does the same thing, and Alex when he was narrating.
Yeah.
Like, oh, them trucks.
Yeah.
And Trump's a real way of life, right? This is gonna all right. Like, yeah, it's like, dude, all right, we get it. They gave you a paycheck to tell you how much you love those fucking trucks.
Yeah.
No, you don't understand. This comes from a place of love. Once I get behind the wheel, I really feel the road between my thighs, and I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Have you seen those Matt Damon commercials? Like,
The-
fortune favors the bold. Buy fucking crypto. Like, really? That's your fucking. South Park started making fun of it. They're all like, my dad lost all his money for believing Matt Damon. But, like, yeah, that's funny. Here, I was just gonna mention that, like, after all these years, I'm still watching South Park. But
I need to start back in it. I think the last ones I watched were like whenever Cthulhu came out and the Badgers or whatever, the superhero stuff. That was the last time I saw it.
I mean, it's on HBO, the new episodes. But yeah, I'm just saying, like, when celebrities are like saying this kind of stuff, it's just
Fortune
like, get
favorite.
the fuck over yourself.
Did you know I'm Jason Bourne? Yes, you play Jason
Oh my God,
Bourne.
it's Jason Bourne.
Yeah. He's right behind us.
Just because we're talking about Jason Bourne, man, this is going overboard. But,
there we go.
Someone had put together this whole fucking thing on Reddit, where Doctor Strange, it's Avengers Endgame, and Doctor Strange is like, "Is that everybody?" And what's his name?
I don't know who.
His friend
Wong.
Yo,
you expect somebody
you
else?
expected more, and then X-Men come out, and Steel comes out, and Superman, the Justice League come out, and he's like, "Is that everybody?" And again, you wanted more. Indiana Jones comes out, Han Solo comes out, and then Jason Bourne comes out, and someone in the background, oh my God, it's Jason Bourne. Like, it was fucking cool. Like, I thought they were just gonna do a little bit, but it was fucking 5 minutes.
It just kept going.
Long. Yeah. Everybody was fucking coming out. I gotta find that shit.
Well, trust me, in a couple of years, Disney will own everything, including Warner Brothers or whatever, and they'll be in there. They'll just all be in there. But yeah, no, I mean, yeah, it's funny. Like I said, we laugh at shit, the whole thing. We just try to have a good time. We have a good time.
Yeah.
And yeah, you guys want to have a good time with us? Just come on by. We hopefully, man, this fucking pandemic. Yeah. The fucking T virus is still out there. Umbrella's still experimenting on zombies and shit. But guys, this was a great episode. It was fun catching up. And then we'll keep on those. We're trying to do once,
weekly.
We're trying to do weekly.
Yeah.
So we'll catch us on the next one. The Batman's going to be coming out soon, so hopefully we can review that. Thank
you for listening. As always, thank you. You guys, man. We love you. Support, follow. We have a Facebook, Instagram, Los Piña Bros. And I mean, that's all I had to say. It looks like Beigne's been wanting to go potty this whole time.
Yeah, so. Beignet, you got to come down there. Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you. Love you. Te cuidas.
Yeah.
Amor a todos.
Thank you to our listeners in Mexico, La
Portugal.
Familia, Corona,
Estrella, La Familia Madrigal. Love you.
Yeah. Pachuca forever.
Yeah.
And
Nuevo León. No, Nuevo Laredo, güey.
Nuevo Laredo. Yeah.
¡Viva Nuevo Laredo! All right.
All right.
Me dolió. All right, see you guys.
Bolillos.
Bolillos.